Hello interneters and welcome back to the channel. A little bit different here. So I realised that I've not recorded an Alton Towers or a Thought Park video in a very long time just in themselves. So what we're going to do today is go through the areas and issues I think the park has and how we could probably change them because, let's be honest, the parks haven't been running quite so well recently. So yeah, let's go through it and let's see the trip we had to Alton Towers. Before we do get into this though, please consider subscribing. It does mean a hell of a lot. And I would also like your opinions down in the comments. They're always interesting, especially on a topic like this. So yeah, let's start off with the Smiler and X Sector itself. The Smiler itself, I don't actually have many issues with this ride. I really enjoy it. It's got some good forces, inversions, obviously still holds the record. I quite like this ride, especially in Towers. It's one of the top 3 in Towers. Realistically, what I'd want it to do is good clean around the queue, but also it needs repainting. It looks nothing like when it first opened. The track is even brown. It's not just scraped off paint. It's starting to brown along the rails. It just doesn't look that nice anymore. Well, when it first opened, the pitch black and the yellow really stood out. Nothing's popping anymore. So I really think it needs a complete repaint, which I don't think is too unreasonable to ask, if I'm being honest. The unrealistic expectations I want is get rid of this queue, please. It is dreadful. It's an absolute rat cage of hell. It's just not nice. It's not a nice experience to be in. Obviously, I know that's unrealistic, that's the whole point. It generally is a little bit disappointing because I would generally queue for this ride a lot more if it wasn't for the experience of the queue. And a coastal-ish shouldn't have that issue, if I'm being completely honest. Just make us queue around the edge or something a bit nicer than in a cage. Also, maybe put the other trains on it from Carnan or Hang Time, because lap bars on coasters just make them better. It's as simple as that. There's not many coasters I'd say, yeah, it's better with an overhead restraint. I think the Smiler with a lap bar would go up my rankings a fair few places, if I'm being honest. But yeah, quite happy with this area in general. So yeah, let's go over to Oblivion, and this has got some interesting points to make here. I don't have any major feelings towards Oblivion, being honest. It's a good ride, it's a classic. It is a bit of a gimmick, but it's a classic for a reason. Everyone they know of Oblivion. I don't have any major issues that I'd want to change. The issue comes with the age of the ride, as does it get the Nemesis treatment, or is it removed to replace by something else? Does it just undergo a major refurbishment to extend its life by a few years? I'm sure Alton Towers themselves are asking themselves all these questions. It is loved by many people, but is it loved enough to put so much money into it, especially with Merlin's nearly $500 million loss last year? So we'll have to see what happens for the last span of this ride. So yeah, now we'll spin over to Spinball Whizzer. Again, when you get the right weights right, this ride is crazy because it does spin a hell of a lot. If you can go in a 3 and fit your 2 heaviest on one side, you'll have a great time. Unfortunately, I think this is going to end up as a CBeebies expansion space, probably sooner than we think. That CBeebies land does bring in the families more than this ride, I think, does. It's a big area. I do think this is going to be a CBeebies expansion. I'd be gutted personally, but I think it'd be a good move for the park. If they were going to go for another spinning coaster, they could easily fit a Max Spinner in this, one of the family ones that have got imported to the park. They could theme it up. It could look beautiful. But yeah, I don't really have any issues with this area, but I think Alton Towers will try and get the CBeebies area back in, because it is a bit landlocked. So let's go over to the Dark Forest, and this area has the most issues out of the lot. I'll start off with 13. I think 13 has a place in the park. It's unique enough. Obviously, it's the world's first drop track ride. I don't know the specific things, but you know what I'm saying. I think the theme's strong enough. I think the ride is a good ride experience. It's not the most thrilling, but the ride itself, I think, does stand on its own. Rita, however, doesn't even fit the area. Even take the ride out of it. Rita's theme does not fit the area of Spooky Forest. It's a racing thing. It doesn't fit. This is combined with the area which looks like it's it mix match, doesn't really fit in around the area anyway. I think the whole area needs a revamp or a retheme paired with the removal of Rita. I know people can be fuming, but it's had so many mechanical issues. It's not even opened for a month this year. It's just got too many issues, and these coasters are dying breeds. Rest in peace, Kingdom Car. So yeah, I think it needs to be removed, replaced by something better. It's a decent plot of land they could fit something on. If they weren't being cheapskates, they could get an Intamin Blitz on here, which would be fantastic for all the Taran lovers. Again, it's a launch coaster. You don't have to go high. It doesn't have to go above the tree level. It'd be fantastic for the area. Obviously, they could do with their own thing, own themes, own coasters. I'm just thinking that would be the most ideal replacement, a launch coaster for a better launch coaster. Yeah, I just think this is it's the area I least enjoy being in the park. It's just a bit naff. As for the towers and the gardens, I think that they are towers. They are everything that towers is good. It's beautiful. It's a nice place to relax. I wouldn't change anything about these areas. They are very nice to be in. So kind of frustratingly, the one I've got the most footage of, I have the least to say about. Obviously, it is the Wicker Man. So yeah, this ride looks fantastic. It rides fantastic, especially in that back row. Don't really have any issue with the queue because it's not really cattle penny. There's a few little bits, but nothing that I could really moan about. I only have a few minor, very minor things I would like to change. Firstly, fix this wicker thing that caught on fire a couple of years ago. That'd be fantastic. Thank you. But my only issue with queuing this ride is the merge point. It's either flooded with fast passes, just like it's not managed very well. Everyone's kind of let in to fight for themselves. That compared with the baggage hold, which gets mixed up if not everyone has bags. Everyone gets a bit of argy-bargy on, and the pre-show kind of feels a bit sardine-y. My best way to show it. And then when they open, that's my major issue is when that's finished. You've got a little gate and everyone piles into the station. You're split up from everyone. And then everyone's in the station trying to find the friends, find the family. It makes no sense. There should be a better way to manage people through there. Even if they made people, even cattle pen in there. So everyone's kind of in a line to then safely move into the station. It's a bit of a free-for-all. As for the ride in the area and the music, absolutely perfect. I wouldn't have changed anything. It's exactly what Towers needed. It is a little short, but I'm not going to go say, they should build a longer coaster. It is what it is, and it's a very good ride. So the Catania Canyons, I really do think that this could be a little bit... I know the rapids are loved by families, and it's a decent long ride, but not very rapidy, not very thrilling, and it's a lot of land. They could easily put a couple of things on this area, including a water coaster. That'd be pretty cool, but also some other things. This area is primed to be redeveloped, and I feel like if Dark Forest wasn't being an issue itself, I reckon this would be the next thing for me to want to change. But you could easily fit a water coaster or something like really unique in this area. Alton Manor wouldn't change anything around this area. I really like the new Alton Manor ride. And although it's not Night Genie, miss that. The confectionery store is pretty cool as well. But yeah, everything about this area, pretty cool. So moving up to Forbidden Valley, and this is being the focal point of a lot of investment recently. Obviously the kind of re-theme of the area, and obviously the new coaster. Nemesis has been rebirthed into Nemesis Reborn, and I'm so glad they went down this route because I love Nemesis. It's simple. I think it's the best thing in this park by far. But now it's got a little bit more theming. Obviously, people are purists, will really miss the original. Don't get me wrong, I miss the original sound of it running around myself. I don't think the coaster, I can't feel any difference either. Maybe if you rode them back to back, but obviously there was 2 years in between, I think it's pretty similar, if not the same. But yeah, Forbidden Valley itself, I think, again, the area looks alright. It's not the best area. It's got some food stalls which have got better recently, actually. They didn't used to be that good, but we tried there on this visit, and it were a lot better. Obviously, Nemesis Reborn, love the rebrand, love the making of it. It's gave this historic, iconic coaster an extra at least 25 years on its life. Wasn't sure on the veins when they first made it. Has grown on me a little bit. Still looks a little bit weird, being honest. The new queue gives it a different feeling, although I do miss queuing down into the valley. I feel like it loses a little bit of atmosphere purely because you're not surrounded by the coaster. Nemesis Reborn, fantastic, love it. The other coaster in this area, I can't say I love that much. Firstly, it is a nightmare to maintain because it has so many issues, and it has for years now. There's not been a day that I visited that Galactica hasn't had an issue. It breaks down a lot, and not only that, It's the one ride I do skip because the line is long and generally it's not a great thrilling ride, and it normally breaks down when I'm in the queue. This is one that I would be on my demolish and rebuild something better. It's a lot of land, and it's another one a bit like Rita where it's just obviously not working very well. They must be spending a lot of money to try and maintain these and just try and make them so they're not breaking down all the time. I mean, there's better flying coasters as well, like Fly. Build a new Fly. That could be sick. I don't understand why any park's not gone for a new Fly. Galactica's not for me. However, Intoxicator is a fantastic addition to this area because not only are they remodeling the old with Nemesis into Nemesis Reborn, this is the new generation of Ripsaw, which again was in that area. I think there's a perfect tie-in. The theming is sick. The soundtrack is also sick. It's a new ride system, so it's not as painful as Ripsaw ever was. Not quite as intense as Telekin in Phantasialand, but yeah, it's just really good fun. And it's a shame that this has come down to being one of the only flat rides in Towers. But I'm so glad they added it. And obviously, on the day we went really hot. It's now a wet ride. I got pretty wet with the fountain package, but I love it. Everything about it. It's a fantastic addition. Here they go, getting wet. But yeah, love the fact that it's now a water ride, something different. It just ties into the area fantastically. But the issue is, I feel like this now puts Galactica even further out. Doesn't fit in this area at all. So they could possibly replace it with something better, a flying thing, or something, again, unique, something Towers don't have. But at least this whole area's got into Phalanx, apart from the Space Coaster. They either need to retheme it, or just get rid. They need to pack it in. Right, so that comes to the end of this video. I am genuinely interested in your guys' opinions. I know I might upset people because I've said certain things about certain rides. It's just my opinion, and you've all got yours. I'm looking forward to seeing what yours are in the comments. Obviously, it's a different style video to what I normally have. I'm back to the regular theme park vlogs next week. Back onto the Thought Park, and we're going on a trip to the Netherlands. So there's a few vlogs coming from there again, so stick around if you want to see that. Please like, subscribe and comment. Always helps. All of them always help. But yeah, most importantly, stay wild.